Hey guys, welcome to a new Coffee Time. Sup. My name is Rio for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. I do these discussions every Monday. Now, typically, I would do this kind of discussion on my computer, but right now my computer is busy rendering the spell book Pendulum Summon duel slash deck kind of videos. I think it's a duel video. Can't tell by the preview. So Sony Vegas is going out, like, trying to film on it when it's doing that. So we do it this way and we edit the supply unit in. Douche! Alright, supply unit. Every time one of your cards is destroyed, you get to draw another card. So once return effect. That seems kind of balanced, Ryu. Why are you, like, bringing this up in a discussion? Why does it need to be such a big discussion? As the title will basically say, is it the next great draw power card or is it poop? Pretty much in that sense without saying the word poop, but I just like saying the word poop because it's funny. The 5-year-old me likes saying poop. Okay, the thing with supply unit is that you can have 3 of them on the board. When you have 3 of them on the board, you get 3 draws. You combine this with something like Fire King, Scraps, or Dragon Star, you get even more pluses. But Ryu, what's the outside use outside of those decks? Glad you hex. You bell. Decks that do a lot of destruction to themselves. There are decks out there that are rogue decks that typically don't do it so well. I mean, you could splash in anything. We're going to have the new Patrick Coban deck, which is going to feature 3 supply units, 3 Upstart, 3 Reckless, 3 card Ds, and a ton of Exodia. I'm joking, of course. No disrespect to Patrick Coban, but I just had to go with that trend. I feel the big push for supply unit will be Scraps, but the Fire, I believe they're called Fire, I'm probably butchering the name, Firestar. Dragon Star, there we go, will get the biggest benefit. I mean, Fire Kings get a huge benefit from it. There's no denying that Yugi Final Four would demolish me. I'd be like, you're not a true Fire King player if if you have to sit here and not bring them up in a discussion video about, well, supply unit. But the question of the day is, what other decks can use it? I'm actually flipping through my binder to try to kind of like get my mind going on that, because even I don't know too well what can be using it besides everything else under the sun. The problem is supply unit's going to have to be on the field to resolve, so it's kind of like that, having that Tenki. There are a lot of decks that will get a benefit from this. You guys, obviously will have more ideas than I have in front of me, because no disrespect to you guys, there's a lot more of you than there is me. Now, that's established. Hello, everyone. No. I just can't continue my laughter. Supply Unit's a great card. I think it's getting a lot of hype. And when I say a lot of hype, I'm not talking about it being bad in Scraps and Fire Kings and Dragon Star. No, those are perfect decks. Perfect examples of the abuse it can do. When I say the hype is a little too crazy, is because outside of those 3 decks, where are we really going to see it? I mean, you could argue that zombies could use it because, well, smash Pyramid Turtle, do stupid things, or just play it and get draws. Seems about right. And I will say this again, I will get people that just disregard the fact of the truth. In my eyes, what is the truth? Because this is a discussion video. Is that eventually we're going to need back row removal again. We're going to need a heavy storm. And the reason I say we're going to need a heavy storm, supply units continuous, and then you have the pendulum summons, and we need to be able to just clear the board, make them restart. Just saying. It needs that counterbalance, and supply unit is just going to allow the monsters to constantly just go float, float, floats, float all over the place. And when I say float, you basically get a plus off or minus. I mean, if you really want to use it outside of those 3 decks, there's always Direwolf. Remember my best friend Direwolf? How I constantly throw him in every extra deck I possibly can outside of zombies that can bring out Rank Force because I love the freaking card. Direwolf kills himself. If you have 3 supply units up, that's a +3. I think it's time we make Direwolf.deck. I went there and I said it. I'm probably forgetting about something like Umbrellas or Ojamas that possibly can do that. I just don't have the experience to talk about those decks, and I'm being honest. And that's what, to me, that's what allows me to become a better player week after week. Doing these videos is allowing myself to admit where my faults are, where I say, okay, I'm not really all that sure if it would work here. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with pendulums. When you first see it, like, oh my god, it's so busted. And when it gets fully into the game, be like, you know what, it's not that bad. Either that, or you really just hate it and have to ban it. I think at some point, without question, Konami will have to step in and say, okay, supply units gotta be limited. That's without question. If you've seen the Dragon Star video, just let me know if you haven't or you want to see it. I have a fine example of just even getting it middle game, the speed it can do. Now, given that the deck gets a lot of pluses off that, and that's what the deck likes to do, is get those pluses to get the draws and allows you to do stupid things. But where I'm going with this in the second half of this video, and I guess if you want to use the word climax, or the plot of the points, is that here's my theory on supply unit. If it's not broken enough for you now, what happens when Konami keeps spitting out archetypes and eventually hits one, like Dragon Star for example, that can abuse it to no end? And I'm not saying just a little bit. Remember, Dragon Stars are brand new at the time that this video comes out. Always look at the upload date. No disrespect. If you don't look at the upload date, that's your fault. But when they first come out, and the only reason I said that is because some people just watch this video at like a random time and it's not the upload date window the first week or whatever, and opinions change and all that. But when you get to a deck like Dragon Stars, and it allows you to constantly do that, it becomes a point where you're just like, okay, where does it stop? Where the abuse stops? Now, you can stay Ryu, it's only a once per turn effect, you only get to get max 3 per turn. That's still 6 cards if we do the math, 3 on mine, 3 on yours, and that's still a giant huge plus. That is a lot of speed, that's a lot of draw power. Given that you have to have all 3 out, you know, all that percentage rate, it doesn't matter because once you get the first one, you're getting that much closer to your second one. When you get to the second one, you have 2 of them going off, and that gets you closer to the third one. On top of the possible other draw power cards like Maxi, Power Duality, and the other 20 things you can do, well, you see where the issue starts coming in, where it doesn't matter if you don't draw it because you always can, but Ryu, Konami's putting in the thing that says you can only have 5 cards at the beginning of the game. Let me tell you from experience, that doesn't make that much of a difference. It really doesn't. If your deck can run like something like Tenki, Pod Duality, just something that deck thins or adds to the hands really quickly, those 5 cards are going to become irrelevant, and a lot of people like going second now. That's fine by me, because certain decks will get a boost from that, just be forewarned. Now, you're probably also going to argue is, Ryu, besides those 3 decks, what else is there to break? I mean, honestly, we have a guess. Honestly, you know, what else is there to break? Time will tell. But I'm just going to leave it at that. If you guys like what you saw, make sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe for more. I'm ready for the video. Peace.